Real Contrast.
I'm Kyle A.
I'm Brian K.
From Harsh to Home, we bring the keys to success.
Sing it. Sing it. All right. So we've got a controversy topic here.
Oh, yeah.
And Kyle and I talked about it a little bit at the break here. Is it breaking confidentiality to give your buyer's opinion about the house to the sellers? I think it's a good one.
I'm going to go off with this. I'm going to say no, especially if you're doing your job and you're actually asking your clients what their thoughts were. If they said they didn't want to do it, fair enough.
Okay. So I can't say that I've ever talked to my buyers and asked their permission to... Let's go back here. Because I have talked to buyers and I always ask them what their information is.
Yeah, well, because it's the feedback is supposed to be from the buyers. There's a section in there on the standard feedback is what is you and your client's opinion of the price.
Sure.
That's different.
I lie all the time on that one.
Well, yeah. Hey.
Yeah. If my client likes the house, that house was priced too high.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. If they don't like it, it was priced just right.
I mean, I'm working for my clients over here.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, it's just right.
Then we're probably not writing an offer on that house.
Yeah.
Or we like it and we're writing a full price offer, you know what I mean? But okay, so what happens very typically across the nation, you go see a house, you're a buyer's agent, you take your client in there, they're telling you, oh, love the sink, hate the flooring. When you leave, some agents will call you and say, hey, Kyle, what'd you think about the house? There's a big app across the nation called Showing Time. It automatically will send you a feedback,
right.
You know, 5 questions, like you said, what's you and your client's opinion about the price, blah, blah, blah.
Or they're going to make an offer.
And so it came about, we were just watching a video here,
Yep.
and guy in California said, you know, by giving feedback, you created a scenario, this type of feedback that you gave, you created a scenario where I had to pay more for the house. And I definitely think it had something to do with the great state of California.
Yeah.
And the very litigious state of California.
Litigious.
Yep. You guys like to sue some people down there.
Boy, oh boy. Now, let me tell you, one thing that I don't get about that is he said that they felt that the price was too high.
Right.
So otherwise, they would have got a better deal. So if he said the price was just right, what he got? Either way, he's in a shitstorm.
Yeah. And there again, even more reason why I think this is BS.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what ultimately ended up happening is apparently the buyer, by giving that feedback, made the seller upset, so they just crossed their arms, and they were going to do that anyways.
Yeah, yeah. And on top of it...
They were just looking for a reason to do that.
And on top of it, there's these purchase and sell agreements, I'm pretty sure they're going to be different from state to state in the way that they're kind of composed, but I think they're going to have the same elements to it, right? You have an inspection contingency. You know, the buyer could have walked away and said, oh, they didn't want to fix this. They chose to stay there. Mm-hmm. That had nothing to do with any feedback.
Yep.
So be it.
And the buyer probably didn't have a gun to his head when he wrote the offer.
Nope.
Probably didn't have a gun to his head when the seller said, we're not fixing anything. Do you want to move forward? I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, and then this buyer was happy. He made the purchase, but he's at the closing table, and he hears from the seller, which is another weird thing. Where in God's green earth are they putting sellers and buyers in the same room
in
together?
California, apparently.
Brilliant.
The MMA of real estate.
Yeah, they give them sumo wrestling suits and... lots of Advil. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, when I'm giving feedback, I don't know that I've ever really given any type of confidential information, information that would be detrimental to my clients.
You think the feedback would be state approved anyway?
I don't know.
I mean, they're gone through legal scrutiny.
you can always leave other comments, and you're just like, well, my client didn't like the
Yeah.
religious remarks in your
Did
house.
not like the way that one fiber was sticking up out of the carpet because he almost tripped over it and hit your cat, and then the cat hissed at him.
And then the seller's like, I put that carpet in.
And I saw a bug on the window.
So yeah, now what I will have is I'll have conversations with my buyers, and they'll give feedback specifically based on their scenario.
Yeah, right.
Going, hey, you know what? Tell them that we like this house, but we've got this, this, and this.
Right.
Or tell them that.
Yeah.
Tell them that the dang thing was overpriced.
Yeah. I mean,
whatever.
I think it's meant to be a tool.
It is.
Period. So I got a verbal feedback today for one of my listings, and I don't even let it sink into my head because it's supposed to go into my ears and out of my mouth to my client.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I'm not mismanaging words. I prefer it in text because I can copy and paste it, or I can just send them the feedback via like the showing time, and that's usually what I do. I just send them that feedback through the showing time. So that way, hey, this is coming from them. This is a good indicator of the market, and you could see the shift even in our shift of feedback.
Yep.
Like completely turning the other way, right? Today it was I called up about an hour after the showing. Hey, what did you and your sellers think of the property? They told me the truth. Instantly got off the phone. They told me what they felt, whether it was the truth or not. I got off the phone, told my client that, and if it is the truth, you're gonna see the market responding to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it could respond to you in many different ways. It can respond to you in, hey, we're not getting any showings, and the last showing was kind of an indicator of what they said, and don't get me wrong, there's some people that are like, oh, I love the house. It was kind of nostalgic. We think the price is right, but just there's a little bit too much work or maintenance that needs to be done for the price. So this is where it's a tool. They said it was too much work for the price. The other one said it was overpriced. That's ding ding. This is a tool to help guide you. If you want to sell the house, that's what we're here for, right?
Yep.
And I think there's a misnomer for a lot of sellers. You're gonna get top dollar for your house. What is top dollar for your house? It's what the market allows.
Yep.
If you have 10 showings, no offers, and then you get an offer on the 11th showing, well, that's a pretty good indicator how you're going. And let's say it's been 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have hit top dollar.
Yeah.
I've been seeing houses close in 607 days. Matter of fact, last month we had 38 houses close. And there's 1,900 on the market. One of those houses sold for $877. I don't know what its original list price was, but it was on the market for 607 days.
Yeah.
Okay, that's almost 2 years. And at the end of that, they got top dollar, but they were overpriced. And if they would have brought it down sooner, it would have sold faster,
Well,
and they probably would have got more money.
The market caught up to them.
Yeah.
So they're priced up here. Their value was right where they should have sold. Where top dollar was right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, we haven't been going fast on appreciation, but the last
Yeah.
couple of years we have seen minor appreciation, and finally, and I've used that.
Right.
I've used that. What do you think? Do you think
Well, we'd have to look at that. We'd have to really look at that listing and really to see
100% because they were probably bringing their price down and meeting the market.
Absolutely.
But
now, I would love to tell a client that is, hey, if you're going to price that high, we got to wait for the market to, the
I have
appreciation.
Oh yeah,
hit you.
no. I've told people, like
You're
you got like a
$100,000 over it.
$500,000 house, and they're like, "Do you think we can get $750 for it?" And I go, "Yeah, probably." What we're going to do is we're going to sign about a 5-year listing
Yeah, there you go.
because eventually this house is going to be worth $750.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing. They laugh and they go, "Okay,
Yeah.
what do you think we can really?"
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I love it.
I mean, ultimately, yeah, we can sell. I can sell the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and Coeur d'Alene place for $1 million.
Yeah.
Which probably won't be this year.
No.
I mean,
No, and I like that. And I think that's a good conversational topic because house prices are coming down. They just are. I mean, with how COVID hit, and we just shot up. I mean, it was insane in our area, and people are still in that mindset. Like, I'm seeing appraisals. I was out door knocking around this one listing before I did an open house, and I'm talking to homeowners, and I'm like, they had an appraisal. My client literally had an appraisal, 8 months before this, and it was $125,000 over where she's selling it at. So the market and appraisal are two different things. For one.
Mm-hmm.
Because what the market's going to allow and the appraised price. Now, I can guarantee you if she went and got an appraisal for it now, with the house is selling around her, it's going to drop that because these houses are selling for around the same price as she's at. Same square footage, give or take 20 or 30 square feet, maybe 100 max. Same years, different layouts. But I even talked to one of the neighbors, and she said, "Yeah, I had my house appraised, and it's gone down." So,
yeah, and it depends on specifics of neighborhoods where,
absolutely,
when they had the appraisals done. I could tell you, I sold one earlier this year. This guy wanted to sell it, and he told me his number, and I'm like, because he just bought it 2 years previous.
Yeah,
and I'm going, the values aren't there.
Yeah,
and we ended up selling that off market before it ever went to the market because the demand for that neighborhood was there.
right. Micro markets, dude.
Micro markets are very real.
Oh yeah.
When we look across the broad spectrum of things, we're holding steady with values.
Right.
There are some areas, and sometimes it's detrimental to the sellers to overprice because they miss that rush. I mean, in 14 days with the internet, everybody's seen your house.
Oh, yeah.
Every ready, willing, and able buyer has seen it. And if you don't have an offer, the market has rejected your price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. A good example is like I'm taking a listing on, probably get stuff done this week. It's a multifamily. And my client, it's been so good to me. Like, I gave him the numbers, right? And I won't disclose that.
Mm-hmm.
So don't even ask. But I gave him the numbers. His numbers are higher, ultimately. But he's like, Kyle, is there going to be any associated costs with this? And I said, dude, after all the money you put in my pocket, no. There's not going to be. Let's get it. And, I think the value's there. And he's very smart with his numbers. He's a very conservative guy, and that's what he does for a living. And, sometimes I think you got to lean into your clients a little bit, right? And he's one I'm willing to lean into. This boy's leaning into me big time. And, like, no, dude, if it don't sell, bro, I said we're going to be putting it on the market for a little longer. But if it don't sell, you're not going to be stuck with any of my costs. Like, you've given me so much business. Not happening.
Just keep giving back to this world, man.
Yeah.
The world keeps giving back to us.
Yeah, and faith, having some faith. And make sure you're able to do it your way. And if you're uncomfortable or you got to do something, do it. Follow your heart.
Yep.
Because I think ultimately following your heart is being genuine to your best ability, right?
Yep.
So if it's going through your mind, like I wouldn't say, hey, tell somebody to shut up if you if you got annoyed with them. Well, maybe you should. I don't know.
What's your prerogative?
Yeah. My prerogatives is obviously unity in relationships, having this, because everything's a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, period. Tell me something in this universe, physical or non-physical, or like consider it like a human being or an animal or a rock or a planet that does not have a relationship. There's nothing.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep.
Shit's important.
What'd you say?
It's important.
Shit's important. All right. So,
what do you got off the dome?
Yeah. Showing properties
Oh yeah.
versus being a tour guide.
Oh, I thought it was virtual tour.
Nope. Being so
Ooh.
how yeah. So if you've been in real estate for more than 2 days, you've had someone from out of state call up. Maybe you were, it was an office call. They called into the office, and you were the lucky devil that grabbed it or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, I'm in town today,
Yeah, I've had that.
and I want to go see
1, 2,
some
3.
houses
Yeah.
to for sale." And you talk it over with them a little bit, and you're like, "Okay, well, what do you want to go see?" And they're like, "Well, I want to go see 123 Main Street, nice cottage house downtown, I also want to go see 456 Smith Road, which is on 5 acres and has a big shop.
You know that one with the green roof?
Yeah.
You've seen that.
The one with the green roof. Yeah, we want to go see that. And you're like, that's off grid and about an hour away. Yeah, I just, okay, so what's important to you? Well, I really like these places. And, I don't know the areas very well. And I want to, well, why on God's green earth am I going to take this person to go see houses if they don't know what area they want to live in?
Oh, dude, I've been there. That's hot to trot. So what's your suggestion? Get him down to the office, sit him down, get a buyer consult, and show them some properties while you're there, and then narrow it down. Is that what? I mean, what's your train of thought?
Wow. Is that what you do?
I'm asking you.
It's about that. It's about that. No, first off, so with that phone conversation, it usually is geared towards, hey, let's have a conversation at the office, a strategy session, a buyer's consultation. First off, I've been doing this almost as long as I've been a real estate agent. We talk about buyer's representation before we go look at houses.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of people panicking across the country because this NAR settlement and blah, blah, blah. And you should have been doing that from the beginning. I'm off my horse now, so I'm moving on.
Yeah.
But I'm having a conversation with them at the office going, okay, what's important to you? The three things that usually pop their head up distance to. Church, Costco, and the airport, right? So what's
or
important
a hospital,
to you?
yeah.
Or church, hospital, Costco.
You did say hospital.
Yep. It's the three. Yeah. So what's important to you? Well, and if the people are getting older in age, that hospital might be a whole lot more important than schools for a younger couple and things like that. Or a middle-aged guy who's flying out of town 3 times a month.
Yeah.
That distance to the airport is going to be important. So we're going to, and then from there, we're going to pull up some properties. We'll look at the houses and stuff, but let's figure out where you want to live.
Yeah.
And so you might map out a good, and here's 4 properties to drive by.
On your way here.
And so go out and do the loop and go up Highway 41 and cut over Adair and loop and check. And when you're done, call me up. And while you're out there, go to the grocery stores.
Pick me up a cup of coffee.
Pick me up a cup. Go to the grocery stores because everybody in that area has something in common. They need milk and eggs.
Yeah.
And so they're going to go, they might not have the same religious beliefs. So one people go to one church and one people, but go to the grocery store while you're in that area.
No, I think that's good advice.
Yeah, because here's the other thing too. And this all stemmed from a text message I got at 8:40 on a Saturday afternoon wanting me to let a buyer in. And I have to, on this listing, I have to show the listing myself as a listing agent, okay? So they wanted to pop by at 4 o'clock the next day on a Sunday. First off, I work really hard at protecting my Sundays. But if this is a ready, willing, and able buyer, I want to make sure that this happens.
Right.
Now, it goes back to is there real estate emergencies, okay?
Right.
And why on God's green earth are you contacting me at 8:40 on a Saturday to do a showing on Sunday? And I call them, and I'm, text message them back and forth because there's a lot of unique characteristics about this property. And I'm like, okay, well, do they have flexibility? Can they be here? Nope, they're leaving Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, is it an emergency to buy a house to the point to where you make no plans and then you want to go see them? No, they're out touring the area. And unfortunately, I believe that this real estate agent spent a portion of his Sunday, helping his clients tour the area.
Yeah.
Now, here's where I do believe, I didn't check all of them, some of these houses are occupied. So now you're asking a seller to clean their house, prepare it for a showing, bring it to hotel-like standards, leave the house on a Sunday where maybe they're enjoying a football game, barbecue,
right. In the
whatever.
hopes of actually having a ready and willing buyer.
And they get in there and they're like, oh, yeah. Oh. Well, I mean, we don't really like the area. the house is beautiful, but can we put this house in Sagal
Yeah.
instead of,
I had a set of
Rathdrum?
clients just like that when I first got into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
3 days of driving around,
Sing it.
showing the property. And I'll tell you what, I don't regret it. It taught me a lot.
You knew their favorite snacks they got at the gas station.
And I don't remember anymore. He was a professional bowler. It's a really cool couple. Really
Wow.
cool. I still stay. They still haven't bought, but I stay in contact with them.
They still haven't bought.
But
Sorry.
that's the truth, man.
And it goes to what we're talking about
I mean,
here.
you have clients that you've showed houses and never got a deal out of people.
Of course, I just closed one that we took 5 years.
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay. That's part of the long game, man. You want to be able to at least, and if I was that agent, I mean, hopefully his clients found value in him.
Oh, yeah.
Because let me tell you, somebody who's going to go out of their way to do that, they're worth keeping around as your agent because they care.
Yeah. And
Like
and
Brian, he's lucky he even answered the text. I'm just joking.
Now, what I'll say is this is a good agent, right? And I've known
Absolutely.
him for years. And I'm not knocking on what he was doing because that's his business. And
Right.
as a buyer's agent, you get to choose your business. I do believe that there's a skill set to go from, hey, we're in town and we want to go look at 6 houses tomorrow. By the way, we're leaving on Monday.
Right.
To, well,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit more. Let's find maybe some
Right.
vacant houses to go through, or if there's a couple on your list that are vacant, I don't mind showing you those so that I can get your concept. But unless you're planning on writing an offer tomorrow, right? Let's take a breath.
Right.
Let's talk about what you're looking for. Let's
Yeah.
go through the MLS. Let's identify some of this back end stuff, because he at 8:40 he's texting me about the well. Okay? So they haven't researched the well. He wants to set up an appointment. What if I told him that the well was a half a gallon a minute and that's a deal killer? He's already requested the showing. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's backwards. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that. You want to know your client so well
Yeah.
that it's down to, if you have a Kenmore dishwasher, we're not buying this house, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff. And so,
Yeah, I mean,
don't be a tour agent. I mean, you can, and that's your business. But I will tell you
I'm sure
that,
there's a lot of them out. That happens a lot.
yeah, if you do that, be mindful of the sellers too, because there's sellers out there that are doing a lot of work to get their home
Yep.
ready
Yep.
for your clients that don't even know if they want to live in that area.
Amen. That's good advice, Brian.
Yay! I did it once.
Yay!
All right. This has been a great show, brother.
Yeah, man. Love ya.
Appreciate you. You guys keep it real.
Peace.